The hills are alive with the sound of uselessness.
I am in pain.
Good evening, passengers, and welcome to tonight's episode of Trademark's Trainwreck, a show featured on Celestia Radio, all fandom, all the time. With me here tonight is Random Greymane.
Hello.
And the Fangirl.
Patriotism. Yay.
America.
We might at some point have the Detective Sherlock with us tonight, and yes, we are recording this. What is it? Next week is Memorial Day weekend at the time of this recording?
This weekend. It is this weekend is Memorial Day weekend, and Monday is Memorial Day.
Gotcha.
If you work retail, I'm with you, and I feel so sorry for all of you. Pray for me.
Same in the food industry. So, how are we doing tonight, folks?
Tired. Sore.
I can relate.
I cannot wait for my 3-day weekend.
It's been an interesting week for me over here. These two, of course, already know this, but let's put it out there for all the world to hear. My car is several layers of, not necessarily fucked, it's certainly functional, but it's got some issues.
Where's that piece of shit car song?
The most prominent
At this point, you may as well just go to the lot where they've got one that's barely just above functional. Just go, hi, that's an upgrade for my.
Nah. I exaggerate. My car is actually pretty okay. It's a tough little box. But the most prominent issue right now is the fact that one of the rims is bent. The mechanic, who I have gone to for years and years and years, and I've trusted him on several issues. He's gotten me out of some jams. He recommended getting the rim completely replaced. So today, I went to the place where he recommended and went about seeing if these guys could fetch a replacement. They took one look at the rim and just went, oh, that brand's availability is very spotty, and plus it'll be cheaper if we can just repair it. So in a couple weeks from now, I'm gonna haul my ass down there and get the rim repaired. Hopefully, fingers crossed.
The used car market is so screwed up right now. Everything is like overpriced, and you can't get parts and so forth. So now it's like you used to have that $500 crap box that you could buy, from somebody on the corner of the street, and that $500 crap box now costs like $2,000, and it's still a $500 crap box Flintstone mobile with the holes in the floor.
Yeah,
but now it costs $2,000. So it's
at this point, for a lot of people, like my fiance, Codemaster C is one of them included. Right now, it's cheaper to just try and patch the patches in an older car that's fallen apart and run it into the ground than it is to just cut your losses and go buy something to somewhere else, because nobody can afford car payments right now, and even if they could, they take so long, and mostly the only affordable cars out there are, like he said, the Flintstone crapmobile.
That being said, like patching things up, that's completely understandable. Do it if you have the skill to do it, because I've kind of gone down the rabbit hole binging a particular YouTube channel called Just Rolled In. If you ever seen that series, it's basically like a compilation of clips of various mechanics dealing with various issues, and a lot of the time the issue is caused by a person, quote unquote, fixing something and making it very much worse.
There's a fair amount of that, okay, but as a person who's never owned a car that I haven't done any major work on myself, okay? A lot of the things that get fixed, if people actually just learned how to fix it properly, it's cost effective to do that. But now, even with this market as what it is, it's cost effective to it's worth it to fix your vehicle anyway. So, no matter what you're doing, the issue is you're going to be fixing your vehicle, not buying a new one. So
yeah, I mean, even if you leave it to the professionals and they're like, well, you need this, say if they know, most of the time they do know a way to actually repair the thing and make it cheaper than buying a new part or a new thing or whatever. I say this from experience, in that when my current ride, whenever my current ride has issues, I just take it to my local mechanic. I used to take it all the way back to the dealership, but even for something as simple as an oil change. But I later discovered, of course, and realized that I'm spending exactly the exact same amount of money on the gas up to the dealership to get my oil changed and to do all my services up there for pennies or for free or whatever, when I could just spend the exact same amount of money here in my local town with my local favorite mechanic, and they'll do just as good a job.
Yeah, exactly.
And a dealership is no guarantee of quality.
Exactly.
None. Okay, because there have been tons of dealership. One of the channels that I watch on YouTube is called the Car Wizard. Okay, and he won't name names. Okay, because he doesn't want to get lawsuits, doesn't want to deal with any sorts of crap. But he will sit there and he will show you, hey, this dealership wanted to replace these people's transmission. Okay, but it's this little relay here that's the problem, and he'll call that crap out, and say, keep an eye out for this, because if you go in there and say, I think my transmission's bad, okay, they're going to say, oh, we'll put a new transmission in there, and it's still going to have the same problem if that was not the problem.
Exactly.
And you will have ended up paying $5,000 for a transmission to not fix the car.
Exactly. I went through a similar situation of like last summer when in my it's still a used car, but still, anyway, with my current ride, my tried and true mechanic, like, I had three different opinions. One was my mechanics up. Well, it was the very last time I went to my dealership that I purchased my car from. They were like, oh, you're going to need new tires soon, as well as an alignment, and you can get all that done really cheaply over here. We'll even buy your tires for you for three, or it was like for, I think it was like $600 or something like that. And like, good to know, thank you. So I go and get my oil changed at my local mechanic at the allotted time, and they're like, you need alignment. About my tires, maybe 3 months you'll need some new tires, but right now they're fine.
Yeah.
And then, of course, I go to the local, completely different dealership, like the local manufacturer's dealership, for some free recall upgrades that my brand of car actually needed done. So they're like, we'll run a diagnostic as well if you'd like. It's free. Okay, sounds cool. So they do my free recall upgrades, and they give me a thing, and they're like, well, your gas your gas filter is is kind of gunky and nasty, and this is going on, and this is going on. Also, your tires need alignment and replacement. I'm like,
That sounds like a bunch of horse shit.
The only things that sounded all in concurrence was that tires need looked at. So I call again my local guy. I was like, hey, when you were looking at my stuff before, did my fuel stuff look okay? And they're like, yeah, your fuel's fine. I still feel that you need to get your tires rotated and rotated at the least. Okay. And so, since all three basically had only agreed on the fact that tires need alignment, rotation, and potentially replaced, I got new tires through my employee discount at my store, which included an alignment and a rotation. So
nice.
It was literally the only thing they were all in concurrence with each other on, and after that, car issues basically for the most part were fine.
Nice.
I mean,
Yeah.
at this point now, I'm going to need some. The only thing I know for certain at my car at this point is that I'm going to need some cleaning fluid. I need to put cleaning fluid in it. Maybe need to put some clean antifreeze in it. And yeah, it's almost time for the. I've almost driven enough miles to warrant an oil change, so I'm probably going to have to schedule that next month.
Mm. Zuko's still got a lot of things to do to him. He's when I bought Zuko, one, I drove 2 hours to get him, okay, because of what he is. I bought a Honda Element, okay, and they're actually fairly rare. But when I got the vehicle, there were several things they didn't disclose to me when I got it, okay? Things like the ground strap for the battery is bad. Okay, so I go and I get the battery changed out, and the ground strap pulls off of the bottom of the frame. And it's like, that's grounding the rest of the vehicle. That's why is, and it was like almost chewed through completely. And they said, oh, we checked this car out. We checked this car out just fine. No, you didn't. It had coolant leaks. It had a number of different things. And thankfully, it wasn't anything that, with the exception of the one unobtainium tube that I had to locate and buy, it wasn't a lot of things that I couldn't do myself. But most people would have been at the mercy of the dealer if they had bought this particular vehicle, okay, because of what the dealer didn't say, And I can never respect dealers that do that. I can't. If you're going to be a dealer, okay? Don't BS people about their vehicles. It's just common sense. I mean, I will get off my soapbox.
It's fine. I got something on the semi-related side of the spectrum. Something that happened during the time that the mechanics were looking over my car. So, pretty much while they were looking over my car, I pretty much went on a loop through the neighborhood. Like, the dealership is right next to, like, I don't even know what to call it. I guess a shopping district would probably be for the best, but it's also next to the local library, the Walgreens, the gas station, the McDonald's. You can pretty much
commercial
find...
district. Yeah. Commercial district would be the best term.
Commercial district, that's good. So I spend an hour in the library reading some Neil Gaiman. Then I move on to the bargain store, then on to the Walgreens. Now, in spite of the fact that it is May 2022 at the time of this recording, I still wear my mask when I'm out in public. Even when I am on my own. Because there are a shit ton of idiots out there. Case in point. I'm on autopilot. I go out of the Walgreens after getting a Coke, because fuck, it's hot outside. I'm on autopilot, so I'm still wearing my mask. At this point, I'm fine with wearing my mask wherever I go. Like, fuck. I don't give a shit. This guy, in a red van with, Confederacy, stuff on the back of his van. I don't even remember. It was, some circular logo with, a pair of, muskets crossing one another, and probably a
slavery stickers. Yes, slavery stickers.
Yeah. Basically, I hear the guy yell, "If you're on your own, take your mask off, you fucking idiot! Jesus!" And I don't even give him a response. I'm just like, well, whatever, dude. You're
Go eat a dick.
Yeah. Your penis must be very small if the only way you can find some satisfaction is to yell at somebody who's doing literally nothing wrong.
That is what the Brits would call a bell end.
Yeah.
Is a bell end.
Folks, at this point, I don't even have to say anything. I really don't have to say anything, because it's just like...
No, we don't.
Come on.
Yeah. It's, at this point, we're just beating that dead horse. Because, you're either going to wear one or you're not. And if you aren't, well, I hope you enjoy being sick.
Yeah. So. And hell, I'm fully vaccinated and I still wear a mask, because even if you are fully vaccinated, you can still get sick. My mother is proof of that. So, I'm still wearing my mask and I don't give a shit. And if you don't like it, well, Okay. Fine. I don't give two shits, alright? Anyway, with that little, kind of sort of PSA out of the way, it's time for the normal shtick. It's time for our show to begin proper. Folks, you know the drill by now. On Trademark's Trainwreck, we have all of the dumb internet news that I've uncovered over the course of a couple weeks or so. We're going to go on a music break, and then after that, we're going to do the softcore material. Then after that, another music break, and we do the hardcore material. So, with that being said, we're going to go on that music break right now. We'll be right back with Trademark's Trainwreck, a show featured on Celestial Radio all fandom all the time, except when it is bell ends and brake pads. I don't know.
That's... You know what? That sounds like a board game.
Oh dear.
You know, if you buy yourself a code reader, because they cost about, anywhere from $30 to $40, you literally can plug it in under your dash, start your car up, and read your codes for free, after that. And then, you can go to the mechanic's place with like some sort of, inkling of what might be a problem on your car. So.
Oh, I'll actually have to look that one up. No joke. Okay, well. Welcome back, folks, to Trademark's Trainwreck, a show featured on Celestial Radio, all fandom all the time. It's time to start the softcore material. And let us start in the food service industry. Sometimes when you're ordering food from people, sometimes you like to make requests. And sometimes the company in question is more than willing to respond. Sometimes,
oh no.
Sometimes they just don't respond in the way that you expect. Case in point, we've got a guy who wanted to know if a cake contained eggs. Well, the bakery couldn't be any more fucking clear.
I mean, some people have allergies because they are allergic to egg, and so they need, or to the proteins in egg whites, and so they need to know if there's cake with no eggs, or if they offer a cake with no egg in it.
Oh yeah, I understand, but would you kindly look at this picture that I've just posted here, please?
I'm thinking that bakery has just, spent a dickery point.
I mean...
For those who are unable to see, we are currently looking at what appears to be a chocolate iced cake with, I think cherries on it, and right there, right in the center, are the frosting words, contain egg, period.
Yeah, this is...
Contain egg.
This is a poorly constructed it's a poorly constructed Black Forest cake is what this is, and I guess I'm being very critical because this is some shitty decorating work.
Yeah, a little bit. Like some of the some of the little frosting swirls or whatever. It looks like they tried to fucking flambe it or some shit, but it just went.
It looks like they tried to roast them, and on top of that, they're also not well piped, and one looks like it's trying to fall off the cake.
Hell.
What happened here is that the cake was still warm when they piped it.
Yes.
And that's exactly what happens when you try and decorate a cake that is actually warm.
Yeah,
but also it's missing chocolate curls.
Exactly.
I don't see any chocolate curls on it.
So not only are these guys assholes, but
well,
they also shittily made a cake and therefore are doing their job very, very wrong. But let's see what the article is.
Yeah, let's
as
go
much
with the
as I
article
love
first.
to jump on the let's immediately judge someone bandwagon. Let's actually try to reserve judgment. This comes to us from New Delhi, and this was posted on May 20th, 2022. New Delhi. The convenience of home delivery of food by just swiping on an app on the phone has changed our lives forever. Just check out the photo, go through the item description, and place the order. As simple as that. But sometimes, even things that simple can go wrong. Very, very wrong. So, Kapil Wozniak of Maharashtra... Oh my god. I'm so sorry. Maharashtra's Nagpur says he wanted a cake from one of the renowned bakeries in the city. And so he placed an order through Swiggy. While ordering what looks like a chocolate cake, he says he wanted clarity on one thing. Does the cake contain egg? In the order details I mentioned, please mention if the cake contains egg. Was Wozniak tweeted? Treated? What the fuck? The fuck's wrong with me tonight? Well, what happened next left him, quote, speechless. The cake, a lovely chocolate with cherries and whipped cream, comes with a message on top. Contain egg. Message, perhaps... The message perhaps couldn't be clearer, or most likely someone at the bakery was working on autopilot. Which, that can happen.
It's a thing.
You'd think this is a one-off incident, but it turns out not quite. Responding to Mr. Wozniak, a Twitter user, Arun Nair, posted a photo of what he had received back in December of last year. Let me just copy the image and put it in our Discord server, and Future Trade will remember to edit this picture in. Here we go. Once again,
that's a red velvet cake. I'm taking a guess at because of the red cake crumbles on the corner, and the white potentially cream cheese frosting.
Also, there are these weird gray little Tim Burton-esque spires that are coming up, and also, what it says on this cake is "Don't send cutlery."
Double hearts.
And that's more or less it for this article. We just have a short, sweet article about.
But yeah, this is a bakery. This is a bakery that either is known. Either these guys did not realize that these people probably send fuckery messages on their cakes, and just heard that their cakes are delicious, or these cakes are awesome, or these cakes are so great. You need to get one, and then. Whoever told them about it just didn't mention, and by the way, they write fuckery messages, because this is what I call this kind of thing. It's fuckery. Either this is something they intentionally do, and these customers in question did not realize it, or this is something that this is indeed a baker being a piece of shit for some weird reason.
There is an automated thing here. Remember that we're talking about ordering through an app.
Yes.
Now, it's entirely possible that there's a little note above a text box that says, type here what you want on the cake.
Mm-hmm.
And people are mistaking that box for a type here for special instructions. Those are two different boxes.
Yeah.
That could be very true.
What I think is happening here is that, yes, someone mistakenly thought that the message on the box was, or that the message box was this is any special instructions for the December one. They were like, please don't send extra cutlery, we don't need it, or don't send cutlery. And so the baker, not realizing or either wanting to be a dick, knowing exactly what happened here, but wanted to be a dick anyway, went ahead and just wrote what was in there, or they genuinely were that stupid and thought, I'll just write that on the cake.
Yeah. Now I must emphasize, for those who haven't caught on just yet, Nagpur is over in the country of India. So maybe there's a cultural disconnect or something. I'm not entirely sure. It could be exactly as Fanny said. Either they're being a dick, which I don't think they do on multiple occasions, but again, different countries, so different standards perhaps. Or maybe they were just on autopilot, or just thought, hey, they want me to write this on the cake, so I'll write it on the cake.
Yeah, some part of me says that's where this is going. It's an autopilot thing. And they're like, it came in on the piece of paper that we printed out for the order, so it's,
Yeah,
so that's what we're putting on the cake.
It was written in the wrong box. It was written in the message box, so I'm just going to make this the message on the cake.
Yeah,
that's right.
And again, Swiggy, I think, I'm not 100% sure. I think Swiggy.
Swiggy is an ordering app.
Swiggy is indeed an ordering app, and it's exclusive to India. So,
because here's the thing, this has happened in America too, but the mistakes that happen here in America are when it's an obvious typo, but the baker, in a dick move, or because they thought it would be funny, decided to go with the typo as written. So yeah, this is just one of those things of they wanted to be whoever was doing this either was on autopilot or they were intentionally being a dick and was like, oh, I know they wrote it in the wrong thing, but I'm going to write exactly what they wanted on the cake.
Yeah, you know the one time though when you're doing that job that if you correct it, that somebody's going to come back and say, I typoed that on purpose. There's going to be somebody that does that. It's going to be that one person.
I just love that first one. Contain cake.
They asked it to mention if it contained eggs.
I can't conceive of how you would make a cake without eggs.
You'd be surprised. It can be
done. There's two main ways you can make an eggless cake. One is using quote unquote flax egg, where you grind up flaxseed or even use pre-ground flaxseed powder, and you mix it with a certain ratio of water.
Okay.
When you mix those together, it creates a substance that's similar to egg in its consistency. And because of the flaxseed oil, and then you put that in your baked goods, and boom, it acts just like eggs. It's a binder, and it also helps add a little bit of enough protein into an oil into the eggs or into the cakes or baked good to keep it structurally sound. Another egg substitute for people who are allergic to eggs or who need it for health reasons is applesauce.
I actually have heard of that one. All right.
And I've used applesauce to replace eggs before, especially in cakes, and it makes it moister. It also is good for when you want to use a little less sugar or use a little less water or milk or whatever, because it has it has enough liquid as well as enough other things, enough sugars naturally in it in order to replace them. And the reason it's a good egg replacement is because it's got pectin in it. And pectin is a perfect replacement for some of the binding properties that are in eggs. Can you tell I'm a baker who paid too much attention to Alton Brown growing up?
Welcome to the Great Trainwreck Bake Off.
Yeah, that'd be amazing.
That would be amazing, actually.
And it's far from the only egg substitute. Those are far from the only egg substitutes, but those are the ones the most known. So, yeah, if you out there are a person who will literally die if you eat things with egg in it, don't worry. You can still enjoy yourself and be fat off your ass with some cake. You just got to look up enough of the right egg replacement recipes, and off to the races you go.
Speaking of off to the races, we all have the metaphorical bucket list in our head. The things that we all want to do before we, kick the bucket, hence the name. But, a lot of times it's like, I want to go to a different country, I want to go skydiving, I want to go scuba diving.
We haven't gotten to another planet yet, so, I'm never going to finish my bucket list.
But, a lot of the time when someone makes a bucket list, a lot of the time the bucket list doesn't involve crime. Florida woman tells deputy that getting arrested was on her bucket list.
Okay.
Yep. This comes to us from May 12th, 2022 in Key Largo, Florida. Where a 19-year-old South Florida woman who fled from law enforcement in the Florida Keys told the deputy who caught up to her that getting arrested was on her bucket list. Jania Shy Miracle Douglas. What a fucking name. She's from Homestead. She was caught with fleeing and eluding. The deputy spotted the woman's Toyota sedan speeding and driving recklessly just before 8 a.m. on a Thursday morning on Card Sound Road in Key Largo. Of course, he turned on his lights and sirens, but the driver did not stop. Douglas eventually pulled over miles later at the intersection of Card Sound Road and Overseas Highway. Before she was taken to jail, the woman told the deputy that getting arrested had been on her bucket list since high school. And that's literally where the article ends.
Why?
I don't know.
Why?
I don't know. 8 in the morning, and you're just speeding along, and a cop comes up behind you, and immediately your first thought is, well, time to check one off today.
And
I don't, this is, oh my god, this is...
This is dumb teenager shit.
This is shit you do as a... she's 19?
Yep.
This is something that, like, honey, getting arrested is not a bucket list thing. Getting arrested is a, oh god, my world is ending thing. Even if what you're getting arrested for is...
Okay, and I have to point out, okay, that this is Florida and she's black. Okay, getting arrested as a bucket list thing could be physically dangerous.
Girl,
okay,
you could be dead at this point because of that. That's not bucket list unless you are literally intending to kick the bucket, and I hope you're not.
Yeah, that's the last thing on your bucket list.
Yes, no.
Because here's a fun fact.
Oh Lord.
Here's a fun fact. Here's the best case scenario for you, Miss Douglas. When you are arrested for anything at all, for anything, congratulations, you now have a criminal record. And anytime anybody does a search for you, be it, a person who's hiring you, or perhaps insurance or college, yes. Anybody who needs to understand what sort of person you are and whether or not they are willing to spend time, effort, or money on you, they're going to look you up, and they're going to see, oh look, May 12th, 2022, got arrested for speeding and eluding the cops. Why did you do this, Miss Douglas? And of course, you're going to, put a finger into the collar of your shirt and go, ugh. Because, of course, the one thing you said when you got arrested on that day was, oh, cool, officer, this was on my bucket list, thanks. And you're going to wonder, should I tell the truth? Should I really say that I did this because I wanted it off my bucket list?
Or am I going to lie my ass off and make myself look even worse to these prospective investors in my future and go, it was just a stupid mistake I made as a kid?
Either way, your odds of being accepted
landing that job, being accepted into college, getting that loan.
I'm not going to say that the odds are now nil, because in retrospect, your crime is actually, I'm not going to say minimal, but it's not murder, so.
Well, but here's the big thing, okay? By being arrested, all right, at that time, because you have a record now, you are technically in the prison pipeline, okay? They will find other reasons if you have a record the next time you get stopped, okay? And this is not, you know what? I'll be quite honest. Don't trust any police at this point. I don't trust any of them, okay?
No.
And just getting arrested, and that means that you have a record, and they're going to assume that you are a criminal because you have a record.
Even if all you did was speed and elude police, they're going to immediately, but they'll still be like, why were you eluding police, ma'am? Is there something in your car that you're hiding? Is there something you do not want us to see? Ma'am, step out of the vehicle. We need to do a search.
Yeah.
Ma'am, stop resisting arrest. Stop resisting arrest. Ma'am, you're under arrest.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like, fuck.
This was a dumb move by this girl.
I apologize if our listeners were triggered by what I just did, but yes, this is something I have seen and heard too often, and I don't like it.
Yep.
I mean, you
They,
can't escape it at this point. It's something that happens all the time. I'm sure Shirley could attest, and right now he would
It
probably be
happens.
fucking screaming.
It unfortunately does happen, and we're saying this as white people who do have privilege, and we do, but we also say this as, in my case, someone who came from a poor background, whose family, because we were poor, yes, we were white, but we were also dirt poor, and because we were poor, the police had tried to come up with any reasons they could to really shit on us because we were poor. Greymane has family who Greymane is coming from people who are being treated like shit by the police because they're mentally handicapped.
That's part of it, but
Other
my mom had anger issues, okay, and my mom had her, had herself handcuffed and, pushed to the ground one day, okay, because of the county police, and that never actually went to a trial, okay, because the officer was talked to, and he had actually stepped out of line, and there was still enough integrity in that particular area of the police force that that actually worked. But
still, when you have a record, they'll come at you for anything.
Right. Yeah. They'll find an excuse. They will find an excuse.
Find an excuse.
So, moving right along to our final softcore article for tonight. Now it is time for some Looney Tunes shit.
Oh, great. Did somebody get hit with a frying pan?
No. But it involves yet another woman who tried to outrun the cops. Well, let me actually see. Let me actually see if they tried to outrun the cops, but yeah.
Is
that well,
is this the week every woman decides she wants to reenact Thelma and Louise?
No, but it's apparently the week where a woman trying to flee gets stuck in wet concrete.
Those of you who watch 80 movies, Remo Williams is just a movie. You're not going to be able to run over that pit of concrete.
Oh my god.
Oh, nice. I just now got access to a longer article. The article I got initially is just a synopsis, rather, but let's actually take a look at this big article, complete with pictures.
Oh god, we got pictures.
And I think video somewhere, but don't quote me on that. There you go, there's the picture. Hey, look at that.
That's a rart car now.
Yeah, that poor Honda Accord. That poor thing.
Oh my god.
That thing's rart. Definitely rart. You ain't gonna
thing.
you ain't gonna be able to sell that.
Right, so this comes...
You should be able to.
No, you should be able to. It might have a salvage title, but
I mean, you guys, I came on a while ago. You guys didn't see me?
No,
actually we didn't.
No. Snuck up on us. Anyway, Shirley, you're just in time to hear about the driver who was trying to flee police got stuck in wet concrete, as you can see here by the picture.
Oh no, trust me, I'm here.
This comes to us from Rochester on May 17th, 2022, where a 53-year-old woman caused between $30,000 and $40,000 worth of damage after she drove through a barricade and got stuck in wet concrete on May 16th.
Honey, if you wanted a new car, you could have just gone to the lot and bought a new car. You didn't have to cause all that damage.
This was, of course, after police officers...
Wait, she stole the car?
No.
No, this was a traffic
stop.
stop.
I know, this is... I'm making a joke.
Yeah. Right, so around 5:30 p.m. on May 16th, a Rochester police officer activated the squad's emergency lights and sirens and the driver yelled into a microphone, "Oh look, I'm getting pulled over." So I guess this woman must have had a microphone on hand or some shit. Let me actually check.
What the fuck?
Oh, she had a bullhorn. She had a bullhorn. When an officer activated the cruiser's lights and sirens, the woman apparently yelled into a bullhorn that, "Oh look, I'm getting pulled over." I have two articles here, and one of these, there seems to be a crossed wire here. We're just gonna take that bullhorn thing with a pinch of salt. Either way, the driver then cut off oncoming traffic to turn west on 7th Street northeast from Silver Lake Drive and accelerated at a high rate of speed, attempting to flee.
Whew.
The officer deactivated their emergency lights and did not pursue, because sometimes police officers just cut their losses and call back up to just go, hey, look out for a crazy bitch.
Actually, that's becoming a more and more common practice because it's
safer, actually.
it's safer. There's
Yeah.
there's a lot less collateral and bystander risk of damage to bystanders than collateral property. So yeah,
This is true. I do remember this from that one crazy guy in a dress driving a bus where a similar incident occurred. Either
Yeah, you're
way-
not gonna outrun a police radio. That's the whole thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, like you might be able to outrun Officer Smith, but Officers Jones and Black are probably going to be coming up ahead of you because they had their radios up and ready and willing to go.
Yeah. So the officer watched the driver continue at a high rate of speed, strike a construction sign, and drive approximately 150 feet into wet concrete. It's department policy not to pursue vehicles unless the person is driving in such a reckless manner that there is a threat to the health and life of people. That's just a quote about the policy of Rochester. Either way, after this incident, the driver was taken into custody.
That car is never going to be a threat anywhere again.
Yeah.
Neither will the driver, I should think.
Well, fun fact about that, she was transported to Mayo Clinic Hospital, St. Mary's campus for mental health care, and will be referred for the following charges. 2 counts fleeing police in a motor vehicle, 1 count first-degree damage to property, and having no insurance. Because America is fucked in terms of insurance, and it actually punishes you for not having it, because we're sick,
Yes.
sadistic fucks. Law
Really?
Most places actually do that. It's just America is more militant about it.
Yeah.
Very much.
Because here's the thing. If you don't have insurance to cover your car's potential wreckage, especially if you're paying on the car, who the fuck's going to pay the people who gave you the money to buy the car? Also, how are you going to be able to afford to get another car if you bust it if you don't have insurance? Or if the situation is your fault? How is the person whose car you hit going to be able to afford a car and to be able to go to work and pay their bills and do what they need to do because of your stupid ass if you ain't got no insurance?
Mm-hmm. Right. Let's see. Law enforcement disengaged from an earlier pursuit with the woman about an hour before her arrest. So this was just a thing that was happening across town. According to Moylanen, the department has had at least 9 incidents involving the woman since May 11th. She's a repeat offender.
Oh, great.
There we go.
Now she will really never have her license back.
Yeah.
You'd be surprised.
Yeah, I don't get that either.
Moylanen, by
mean-
the way, let's see if I can actually find where this person's name is. Oh, this is Captain Casey Moylanen from the Rochester Police Department.
Mhm.
Go on,
So
Fanny.
yeah, even if she does eventually get it back, like y'all said before, this is on record now.
Yeah. Also, here we go. I've got context for the bullhorn. That's a rarity. Context. So, according to the captain here, the department has had at least 9 incidents involving this woman since May 11th. He said the department has received multiple complaints about the woman driving and using a bullhorn to yell at people. In her words, she is, quote, spreading the word of God.
No,
Oh,
honey, you're just
okay.
making the public nuisance.
Oh, we've got a real
Okay.
winner here.
It clearly, since she was shipped off to a mental health a hospital, yeah, there's a lot of mental health issues going on here.
She's seeing Jesus in her toast. So, meanwhile, we've got Robert Simanko of Chippewa Concrete. He said that he was walking to the back of his car after just finishing his shift laying concrete when he and his co-workers heard, quote, all of a sudden, a big, loud bang. When they turned around, they saw a woman had driven through the barricade and down the middle of the concrete they had just laid. She bottomed right out, Simanko said. She tried spinning her tires to keep going, but she just couldn't.
Well, yeah.
You're trying to bulldoze concrete with a Honda. No, it's not going to work.
Not going to work.
That's gotta-
I feel
that stuff
bad
is
for these
heavy.
guys, but look at all that fucking hard work they just did.
I've got an even better picture, but that's got a fucking that's something out of a fucking cartoon. Imagine
This
having
is a Family Guy skit.
Imagine having worked all day on making a concrete road. Imagine that. And you're just clocked out. You've just had a long shift. You're going to go home, have dinner, hang out with the kids, snuggle up in bed with your wife, and then all of a sudden, bang!
This crazy ass bitch.
Yeah.
You know, the annoying thing about that is that they are not going to be able to just re-screep that.
No. They have to break that up and do it again.
They'll have to completely re-bulldoze this area.
Right, they're gonna have to have the road grater go over it, okay. And if there's enough of a height, the road grater can bring it down to where she put the ruts, and then they can redo just a concrete cover of it. But that's good lord, that woman has cost them like days of work easily, if not weeks.
So yeah, because like we have this kind of road construction happening right now in my town, where they're building a new roundabout, in what was the middle of a 2-lane highway, or mini highway rather, and this is a lot of work. This takes a long ass time to do. This likely involved rerouting traffic, getting people to have to take completely different routes between certain places than this one, and this woman has put them behind by a considerable amount of time when it looks like, yeah, they were pretty much finished, and probably the next step was just to paint the lines in the road and just be done.
Yeah.
And she's ruined it. Every bit of it.
I've got one last bit of testimony from Simanko. Simanko said that before the woman drove through the barricade, he had seen Rochester police vehicles turn on their lights behind the vehicle. After the crash, he said, the woman refused to get out of her vehicle and was yelling and screaming as officers arrested her. Simanko said the car was stuck for 15 to 20 minutes before it was towed away. He and his workers then spent until 7 p.m. relaying the concrete, and need I remind you all that this happened at 5:30 p.m., so an hour 30 minutes.
So, all right, so they must have just laid that. They must have just laid that, and it was still wet, so very cool. That's actually very cool for them.
Yeah, so 2 hours. 2 hours.
I'm very glad that this didn't cost them weeks of work, but still, that was very lucky on their part.
Yeah,
but also kind of shitty on their part.
Here's the thing.
They get paid overtime.
Simanko's in good humor about this because here's one final quote from him. We get this once a year, Simanko said. It's early, so it may be twice this year.
Oh god, so this isn't the first time they've had somebody drive through their concrete.
You know what? I'd believe it. I'd believe it.
Concrete with bicycle tracks. I've seen that. I've seen concrete with feet marks in it.
Yeah.
Cat marks. Cat marks are another popular one.
Yep.
Paw prints are always fun. Sometimes they leave them.
Oh, lordy. Well, that's our final softcore article for tonight, so we're going to go on our second music break and go into the hardcore material in just a bit. Folks, you're listening to Trademark's Trainwreck, a show featured on Celestia Radio, all fandom all the time, except when it contain egg.
Please don't say cutlery.
Beep, 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 beep. My car went beep, beep, beep.
Alrighty then.
Yeah, I heard something interesting, actually, when it comes to news. Arby's is finally offering a burger in their lineup, or will be offering a burger in their lineup.
Okay, what's the catch?
Well, I mean, no catch. It's just a burger. It's just... That's the thing, though. I don't think Arby's realizes that people don't go to Arby's for their sandwiches. They go to Arby's because everything else is closed.
That's not entirely true. I mean, I go there for when I have this taste for their really crappy roast beef, because I occasionally have that taste. But I also go there for the orange shakes that they have once a fucking year. They have this orange flavored. It's almost Tang flavored. If you've ever had Tang, orange shake, and it's they have them like every April, and that's about the only reason I ever go to them now.
The only sandwich I ever got there when I actually would get there was the chicken cordon bleu, but hold the mayo, and they stopped making it. I'm like, well, I have no reason to come here anymore.
Oh, well.
Well, either way, folks, welcome back to Trademark's Trainwreck, a show featured on Celestia Radio, all fandom all the time. Time to start the hardcore material. Well, this week there's nothing really particularly like, oh my god! But, I tried my best. Case in point, let's file one under the category of I hate you all.
Okay.
There's this one cop that has just had enough of everybody's shit. There's an Air Force base here, says annoyed cops to people calling 911 about jet noises.
Excuse you?
Okay.
I mean, I don't know how...
Yes, there's an Air Force base there. There are going to be jet noises.
Yes. This comes
Alrighty.
This comes to us from May 20th, 2022. People call the police about the darndest things. For example, cops in rural Maine have to pull cars out of ditches every first snowfall of the season, despite Maine being one of the most snowy states on the East Coast. Likewise, police in Dover, Delaware, still get calls about jet noises, despite Dover being home to the military's largest airport. You live in Dover. There's an Air Force base here, wrote the Dover Police Department in a Facebook post. Yeah, they literally made a Facebook post explaining this to the dumb shits out there. Here it is verbatim. We can't believe we have to say this, but please do not call the police department or 911 about the jet noise from the Thunder over Dover Air Show. It is a complete waste of our resources, and you are potentially putting people at risk who really need help. You live in Dover. There's an Air Force base here. Enjoy the sound of freedom for the next few days. The event is great for our city. Plus, our Chevrolet Tahoes aren't catching those guys. Welcome to Dover, U.S. Navy Blue Angels and Air Force Thunderbirds. Some guy with the police department is so done with everyone's shit.
I don't blame him. I really don't.
I don't. This is the one time I'm on the cop side.
Wouldn't you be if you had to deal with this bull crap all the time?
I mean, that's the equivalent. That's the equivalent of the tech support guy getting calls from the person who is seated next to the copier. Okay, oh, the copier's making it hard for me to work. I can't hear anything. Well, you know what? Change your desk. I can't do anything about it. What am I put a box around the copier? No. You going to put a box or a wall up around the jets? No, that's not how this works. It's not how any of this works.
So let's get some context about this show coming down. On top of the usual traffic comes a range of jets and propeller aircraft visiting for the air show. Besides the dozen or so jets from the Thunderbirds and Blue Angels, the lineup also features the Marine Corps Harrier demonstration team, the Air Force's C-17 demonstration team, and a B-2 stealth bomber performing a flyover.
Yep.
There will also be World War II propeller planes, including a P-15 fighter, a B-25 bomber, and a C-47 Skytrain, as well as 2 civilian
P-15.
acrobat teams. Or aerobatic.
P-51? P-51.
P-15 is what he said.
No,
Yeah.
P-51 is what I see. It could be a typo. Google it.
Okay, so yeah, it's a P-51 because a P-15 is nothing. So as far as I
Yeah,
remember,
doesn't exist.
But okay, if you've ever I've been to Oshkosh, Wisconsin, which is a big air show, and they did the Harrier demonstration there. Okay, and if you are within like 50 feet of that Harrier, okay, you are temporarily deaf.
You need
Okay.
air protection.
Oh,
You need air protection.
So many people don't understand like the amount of noise, the amount of lift needed to make a VTOL fighter jet work.
Right.
It is an insane amount of
Yeah,
noise.
like fuck me. Every time the air show comes to our neck of the woods, I can hear it from my house. And my house is like, my house is not close to the airfield, but it's not far out either. And when I get closer to the airfield, it's always a nice show, especially when I'm going to like fucking Barnes and Noble to pick out a book, and all I hear is up in the sky or some shit, and I'm like, what the fuck? Oh, it's a fucking air show. Okay, cool.
What fresh hell is this? It's new rain!
Also, and future Trademark, please remember to put this as the picture for the YouTube version, please, for the love of God. The same person who posted that little sassy, like, dead inside blurb for the police department on Facebook, they made a picture.
Oh my god, we got
God.
They made a
It was
picture of a hypothetical police issue F-22 fighter jet.
Oh God.
Please pull over the aircraft vehicle.
I just love that fucking stupid idea.
You know, that was done. I can't remember which movie did that, but it was
Every
Dragnet.
sci-fi movie
They
has
used
done
the-
it.
Dragnet. There you go.
Dragnet got an F4 Phantom and had LAPD plastered on the wing. Here, I got a picture.
But all I could think was nobody's who did that has ever been flying. Okay, because you can't hear.
You can't
Okay,
hear anything.
You can't hear anything. That's
No,
why.
this is the scene. This is the scene. So the bad guy is getting away. We're gonna watch. I'm actually gonna make you watch this. Make you watch this trade. So here's the scene. This stars Dan Aykroyd and Tom Hanks when he was very young and very skinny.
All right, we're on
And
a
very
good start
cute.
so far.
And I think it's just after Splash.
Yes, it was just after Splash or very close to that.
Yeah. So we've got
Maybe
we got the
eight.
bad guy getting away in a private jet, and then all of a sudden comes up this F4 Phantom, decked out. It's a Navy jet because it's got the Navy
It's got the
blue,
camo
gray,
and
and gray and darker gray camo. But like Dan Aykroyd is in the co-pilot seat, and he's got a police blue light on top of the seat of the pilot in front of him, and it's going off.
shit.
And like on the side is to protect and serve, and it's the LA County badging on the side of the plane, and I'm like, what the shit is this? And he hits the siren, and it's like when a cop wants you to pull over and they just kind of look at you and you do that, woo! And I'm like, and Dan pulls off his mask and he points down.
And I see in the picture he's wearing an LAPD air helmet.
LAPD fighter plane.
And he's even like pulled out his fucking badge. Like, really? I couldn't tell. That's the stupidest shit I've ever heard, but that's fucking awesome.
It's
I
great.
love
It's
it.
That's actually a
hilarious.
hilarious scene.
That's so
And it's
fucking
a
stupid.
fantastic movie. It's such a funny movie.
It's
Oh.
dumb as fuck, but you love it for that reason.
Okay, you
It
had
is.
me at Dan Aykroyd and Tom Hanks, but fuck it, I'm in for this scene alone.
Oh, that's it. There's more than just
There's more
in
than
that
that.
movie.
That's just absolutely hilarious.
Yeah,
It's so funny.
I look forward to it. I hope you have it on fucking post-it notes so that you don't forget on our next movie night. Anywho, the impracticality of police-issued jets aside, don't complain about the jet noises when you live next door to an airfield. That's the moral of this article.
It's like complaining about golf balls when you live next to a golf course.
Yeah, like,
You know?
Or complaining about the noisy children playing in the schoolyard when you live next to the school.
Yes.
yeah, like,
exactly.
come on. All right,
You know what you're in for.
Next, we have
Next.
another one under the category of crazy bitch trying to avoid the cops in a
And
high-speed
it's the
chase.
This is. I know what this is. This is plane, trains, and automobiles.
There we go.
I mean, maybe. This comes to us from Florida, because of course. Florida woman accused of crashing into multiple cars. Wait for it. Throwing fake snake to evade traffic stop. Yeah.
Weird flex, but okay.
All right.
Yeah, like it's all
okay.
perfectly normal with crashing into multiple cars. Like that's just a Tuesday here in Florida. But then you go with the fake snake, and it's just like, all right, how many screws are loose in your head?
And which voice are we listening to today?
May 18th, 2022, from Martin County. A woman was arrested after crashing into multiple vehicles and throwing a fake snake at deputies in an attempt to flee a traffic stop in Martin County. Dawn LaShawn LaPrade. LaPrade? I don't care. She's 54, and she's facing multiple charges, with additional charges possible, including 4 counts of aggravated assault on a police officer and fleeing and eluding. According to investigators, the chase began when the suspect intentionally hit one of the Martin County Sheriff's office vehicles as she tried to evade a traffic stop. She fled deputies, reaching speeds of up to 100 miles per hour, hitting another patrol car and a civilian truck, injuring 3 people inside before ending up on Warfield Boulevard.
Someone had to go fast.
Yeah. While driving, she motioned to the deputies that she had a gun and drove erratically, trying to cause them to crash. When deputies approached the suspect, she threw a fake snake at them. I've even got a picture of the snake in question.
The snake could not be reached for comment.
There you go. Well, there's the article for some reason.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I was going to say that.
There-
That doesn't look like a snake.
There's the
That's
snake.
actually pretty.
That's actually a pretty good fake snake.
Yeah, that's a pretty good fake snake.
It's somewhat convincing. It's better than just having like the snake that's just like a rubbery like hose. That
Fucking
you just...
rubber hose.
Yeah, yeah. It's convincing. I can see like some people like going ugh, until they realize.
Oh, wait.
Yeah.
I'm an idiot.
Well, 4 people
Best
were...
prank involving snake I ever saw
Hmm?
was at a salvage yard down in Phoenix,
Ooh,
where
oh,
the owner of the salvage yard was just putting together the finishing touches on his newest pet project car he had. What he does is he goes throughout his salvage yard that he's owned for like 30, 40 years, finds a classic car, a historical piece, and is like, I can fix that up for maybe $2,000 and probably sell it for $5,000. So that's what he does. He just finished putting the finishing touches, and he was going to take it out to auction when the guys working for him decided to play a prank on him. They had found a rattlesnake, a diamondback, dead, but they decided to set it in not a mold, but set it to be in a position and put it in the freezer and let it solidify.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
fuck.
they had it so it was like frozen stiff, so with its head up and mouth out, ready to attack. And they just placed it in the passenger seat of the old man's car that he was about to drive to auction.
Do you want to get shot? Because that's how you get shot.
Needless to say, he found it in decent enough humor after his heart stopped, pounding. kind of one of those, you mother little shits!
That was good.
You got me good, but fuck you. Anyway, last bit of the article. 4 people were transported to the hospital with non-life-threatening injuries, thank God. According to the sheriff's police, the deputies hit by the woman were not injured either. Leprad was booked into jail and is currently being held on a $90,000 bond.
Damn.
Enjoy your stint in jail, hon. I hope it was a bucket list moment.
You're half a second ahead of me.
I actually have a video here. I'm not sure if it'll load on Discord.
We got video.
Yeah, we got video.
Vidya.
We got video.
I'm actually going to watch this.
Vidya.
I'm actually going to watch this. It's like 37 seconds long. We've got cops surrounding what looks like a dark blue pickup truck.
Please tell me there's Benny Hill music.
I mean, I've got it on mute because I don't want to call it
later.
recording.
Nah,
Nah, it actually looks like this is the aftermath of
Yeah,
everything.
it's just the aftermath. She did, the truck did roll.
Yeah. As long at least no one was hurt.
Yeah, thank God.
Seriously.
Oh yeah, there it is. There's the truck. That truck rolled. Yikes. That explains the state of her in the mugshot with one of her eyes just being like, ear, slanted downward. It looks like it's bruised.
She's got a shiner.
Yeah, it's definitely bruised.
Again, at least no one, mild injury, but still, at least nobody was killed.
Yeah, thank God. All right.
If the judges down there want to review it any way, like my judges do, some of my judges do, they will emphasize how they are very disturbed and upset of the severe recklessness that endangered so many lives. Mm-hmm. This woman's getting fleeing, because she actually hit cars with her car, possibly vehicular assault or assault with a deadly weapon, depending on the statute in the state. Fleeing, evading, assault, resisting arrest, and endangerment.
Mm-hmm. Well, either way, let's head to our final article. And I know Shirley's going to be pissed at this because it involves the cops, but it doesn't involve an actual cop.
No.
Oh, God.
But rather someone who wants to pretend he's a cop.
Oh, lovely!
And not just
Thank
that. He pretended to do this for 15 years!
Oh, my God. Wow. Okay.
That's impressive. Okay, I got to give him props. Impersonating cop for 15 years.
We've got a man accused of impersonating law enforcement officers for over 15 years. This comes today at the time of this recording, which is May 25th, 2022. A Maryland man who has allegedly been posing as a member of law enforcement for at least 15 years was taken into custody and is facing federal charges. Antoine William Tuckson, 37, was arraigned on charges of impersonating an officer and employee of the U.S. and being a felon in possession of a firearm.
Oh, dear.
Yeah. Tuckson was nabbed by authorities in Prince George's County after he tried to detain 2 women who disputed their bill at a restaurant where he worked as a security guard. All right, number 1. Security guard at a restaurant. I don't think that's a thing, but...
Yes, it is.
Is it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's possible he could have just been a security guard at the location where the
I guess
where
it
the
depends on the
restaurant-
restaurant, because, fuck, I've never seen that happen before.
If there's a bar in restaurant...
Oh, there goes Shirley's internet.
Yeah, if there's a bar in the restaurant, or if the restaurant is like a 24-hour restaurant.
Or if
Okay.
it's like one of those more upscale restaurants.
Sometimes a truck stop restaurant. Okay, you'll see some security in a truck stop restaurant.
Yeah.
Or if it's part of a mall.
Yeah,
And part of a mall. There's another one. Yeah.
Right. So when the women tried to leave the restaurant, Tucson called the local police for backup. When officers arrived, Tucson told them that he was a Deputy United States Marshal and showed them a badge.
Oh my God!
Uh-huh.
This isn't just.
There's your fuck up.
No.
This isn't just impersonating a cop. This is impersonating a federal officer. That's a whole new level. That's a whole different level.
Here's the thing. You say, oh, there's your problem. No, he thought this through, and I'll tell you why in a minute. For one thing, the badge appeared to be authentic because no one really looks at them unless, you're trying to suss someone out. The deputies became suspicious of Tucson. They became suspicious because Tucson left his dog inside the restaurant during the incident. For those not in the know, police canine units are trained to stay by their officer's side at all times. To prove he was a U.S. Marshal, he told the deputies to contact Najia Nicole Rich, 40, who he claimed was his supervising officer. When Rich arrived, she found that Tucson had been taken into custody and demanded his release. Officials searched the U.S. Marshals Service personnel database, but found no records of either working in their agency.
Whoops!
Mm-hmm.
Somebody didn't pay his hacker enough.
Sometimes they check that shit. Investigators said that Tucson has a lengthy criminal history and has spent several stints in prison. In addition, he has been accused of impersonating law enforcement officers in the past, with reports dating back at least 15 years.
Oh, okay, there's multiple instances. I thought he was doing this for 15 straight years.
Yeah, it is kind of worded that
caught.
way, but this is a repeat offender. So,
Damn it, media. This is why I don't like you, because you make these articles this way. That's not how it should be. Just tell us the damn story.
I mean, even so, to keep doing this for 15 years, even when you've been in prison, that still takes balls. Now,
He
here's
just likes it, I guess.
That's not taking balls. That's straight up denial.
that too. He went to great lengths to keep up his ruse by modifying his vehicle with a siren and red and blue lights. In addition, his fake badge...
That is illegal.
It is, but wait, there's more. In addition, his fake badge had an embedded computer chip that made it look almost identical to the official official badge handed out by the Marshal Service. Evidence shows that Mr. Tucson has been impersonating a law enforcement officer for more than 15 years and has not been stopped despite his lengthy criminal record and multiple prison sentences, prosecutors wrote in a detention memo. Rich was also taken into custody and charged with impersonating a federal officer and conspiracy to impersonate a federal officer. Now let's take a look. I want to see this badge.
So he paid his forger money, but he didn't pay his hacker money, is what
Yeah.
it amounts to.
Mm-hmm. Let's take a look.
Remember, kids, you have to pay your hacker.
Hacker can ruin your life.
Never screw
Yep.
with IT people, especially the ones who can help you get away with illegal shit, because they'll turn on you.
That's
Turn
right.
on you like the dog you are.
Uh-huh.
And all they have to do is declare you dead with the gas company. Okay, for some bizarre reason, the gas company is the one that tells everybody else. Okay? And if you get declared dead, it is not trivial to prove that you're alive. It is not. Okay?
And here's the thing: if you're declared dead with any utility company, especially the gas company, then once the IRS gets wind that you are dead, you are legally dead. And it takes a fucking bitch and a half ever to fix that.
Yes, it does.
So you informed us last time on this show, surprisingly.
Oh, you're right. We did.
Yeah. Also, I am Googling like a motherfucker to see what these badges look like. There is a fuck ton of variations, and I have no idea how putting a chip in a badge makes it look any more like a Marshal badge.
There's should only be one U.S. Marshal badge.
Right.
I mean, granted, I'm doing a Google image search, so I could be getting like some results mixed up.
No, the issue is that you're not getting results because Google is not going to give you results.
Yeah, they're not going to show you the official U.S. Marshal badge.
Because Trey, you're now on a watch list.
Oh, shush.
Yes. By the way, you're now on the watch list.
I'm doing research to see what this fuck tried to do.
Welcome to the world of writers, okay? Because writers do this sort of research, and then all of a sudden they get phone calls like, Sir, were you researching this product?
Bitch,
were you researching?
I'm writing fan fiction, and eventually I'm gonna hopefully one day release a fucking novel. Yeah, I know what my search history looks like. It's fucked.
Here's the thing. All right, here's the thing.
One at a time.
As someone who has actually been published in fiction and has really shitty both fan fiction and actual fiction, and also someone whose work is actually circulating out there for script writing, it is very, very awkward when people know that you're, and especially as somebody who is a fan of true crime drama and true crime documentaries, it is very, very, very awkward to have others know that your search history includes things such as real-life homicides, Japanese horror games that you play in the dark, and weird sexual positions.
Okay, I can hear. It's actually, if you go to the U.S. Marshals website, they have a listing of all the badges they've ever used throughout history, including the current one, which is that.
And it's public knowledge.
It was changed. It was changed from the Eagle Top in the 1980s, which was incredibly gaudy and looked like something out of Judge Dredd, to the standard old school star with star inside the ring.
I'm still trying to figure out how inserting a chip into it makes it look more like a Marshal badge.
Most Marshal badges will have an RFID chip in the back of it. So whenever they enter a government facility, they're automatically scanned.
Okay, that makes more sense. Okay.
Yep. That's a standard issue on a federal level, not a local law enforcement level. You will never see that in anything short of the FBI or the U.S. Marshals or ATF.
Okay, I got you. Well,
you might see that in the LAPD.
Well, that is more or less it for tonight. Whew. Quite an eventful week this time around. Well,
yeah. Did you guys hear about the amazing thing? New York City finally got rid of its very last public payphone.
Oh, shit.
Oh, dear.
Yeah. But thankfully for most New Yorkers, public bathrooms are still everywhere else.
And on that note, I think that is a perfect place to end the show for tonight. Thank you, everyone, for listening to this week's episode. With me here, as always, is Random Greymane.
Remember, always pay your associates when you're committing crimes.
Because they'll sell you out faster than a rapper getting a fucking Grammy deal.
Unless they're not around.
Because
continuing down the list,
I'm laughing because we had that D&D session and it was like, no witnesses.
Continuing down the list, we also had Sherlock.
Yep.
And the fan.
Doing crime is bad, kids.
Yes.
Crime is bad. Be gay.
There you go.
As always, ladies and gentlemen, we are a show featured on Celestial Radio. Our banner art was created by Court Awesome. Our theme song was created by Marivex. You can find their social media, our social media, and all of the links to all the articles we discussed in the description below on our YouTube page. As always, if you're watching on YouTube, please like, comment, subscribe, all of that garbage so that I don't get buried in the algorithm. Or, just share me with your friends. Just send it out there.
The algorithm.
Fucking algorithm. I mean, regardless of the algorithm, I'm still going to upload episodes because I still have fun making this show. Because either way, regardless of whoever else is watching it, I'm just having a good time with my friends for an hour.
I don't think we'll ever get monetized without a Patreon.
No, I don't think so either.
Who wants to sponsor this shit?
Yeah, fucking hell.
You would be surprised.
Yeah, that's true.
Buy the man a coffee.
If anyone wants to sponsor us, we'll review your crap, but good or bad. If you just give it for free.
I mean, if I never get sponsored, I can always do this. I can always pull a Russian badger and beg gamer subs to make me an energy drink. And I just
Trainwreck energy drink.
Oh my god. Trainwreck energy drink.
Yeah, that sounds awful.
It's a
trademark. Trainwreck energy drink.
What would that even fucking be? That would be a nightmare.
It would be disappointment flavored.
Well, on that note, folks, my name is Trademark, and good night.
Good night, Gracie.
Sir, please land the aircraft.